Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we'll get started. So first I want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for um, being here. We are going to be talking about consistent characters, specifically training a Flux LoRA to get those consistent characters. Um, the LoRA can do more than train a character. It can do people, it can be objects, or it can be an art style. But I guess when we get further along, I will talk about that. Okay. All right. So, what is a Flux LoRA and why train one? A working right? Bear with me. Was trying to do this so that not all the information popped up at one time. But so LoRa it stands for low rate adaptation. It's a technique that allows you to fine tune a particular part of an AI model in smaller parameters so that you're not updating the whole model. Basically, the LoRa sits on top of the full system. Why train one? It enables you to specialize the model for a particular task. So, like I was saying earlier, that's your output would be a person, or it could be an object or an art style without sacrificing the knowledge or performance of anything else going on the model. And then a Flux LoRa, all it is Flux is the base model. LoRa is the thing that sits on top of the base model. So a LoRa, this is the analogy I like to use. It might not be exactly accurate, but LoRa is to Flux as a GPT is to Chat GPT. So the LoRa is the smaller of the bigger thing. All right. And so preparing your data set. In our case, it would be photos and an environment for Flux LoRa training. The first thing you want to do is curate your data set. So you want to decide your focus. Are you going to be training it on a person? Will it be an art style? Will it be an object? Once you make that decision, then you want to select the photos or data set, if you were training it on something else, to reflect the personality traits or capture the style that you want the model to capture. My suggestion is to train it on one object, one person, one art style. And the recommendation is that you use 10 to 30 photos. You can use more photos, you can use less photos. I did train one on 4 photos and got pretty decent results. One of the things I noticed when I did that is that I actually used the photos from one of our cohorts, Ms. Marcia, and it when it generated, it had the tendency to want to make her clothes look similar, even though I was prompting it for different clothes types. Now, if I was specific with the clothing, then it would change it, but we'll get into that a little bit later. When you choose your photos, you want to have a variety of different angles, different lighting. If it's on a person, try to do full body, just the face in different environments. Give it, different things to work with, but try to have just one person in the photo if you're going to be training it on people. Once you curate the data set, you want to prepare it. So place all the photos in the same folder, name the folder. So my recommendation is to name the folder the same as what you're going to be naming each of the photos inside of the folder. And what I mean by that is you want to follow a naming convention. So when I trained the one specifically, on myself, I did photo underscore of underscore Lakeisha D. Walton underscore 001, and then just went down and changed the number of the photos inside of the folder. Um, the reason why I was recommending that you name the folder and then the individual photos the same name is that you're going to have to set a trigger word, and you want that trigger word to be the same thing as your photo names, because it's going to be looking for that to pull the information from. Once you have the photo set, zip the folder, and then set your environment. So I guess maybe I should have asked a question here, but my assumption is that most of you probably haven't set up these accounts. So I use a media platform called Foul.ai. And basically it's a platform for developers. So it's like you're going into the back end versus using some of the other front facing systems like maybe Hugging Face or something like that. You want to register for Foul.ai. Once you do, it's going to prompt you to set up an account with GitHub. So GitHub is built into Foul, or Foul, I guess, is built on GitHub, I guess. And GitHub is an open source cloud-based platform for developers. Once you have that set up, you will add the funds to the account. Each model for what I am, I guess, going to go over today, I'm going to demonstrate a little bit after I go through the presentation so you can actually see me setting up an account, or my account is already set up, so you won't see me set up the account, but I can talk through what it'll look like when you go to do it. But each model costs about $2 to train. You will also want to have funds available for the images. It is currently costing about 14 cents for a set of 4 images each time you run the images. And you will see on the screen how much it costs. It tells you, so you'll know. So my recommendation is that you have at least $5, $10 to start, just for you to experiment with. All right, and so really training a model is only about 5 steps. Once you get the foundation set, you want to choose the training model. So from the Foul.ai Explore page, you'll navigate to the training tab, and then select Foul AI Flux LoRa Fast Training, and the picture will look like this image that is currently there. Now, last night, there were only 2 options to choose from. As of today, they added another one, and I experimented with that one. It's actually called Flux LoRa Portrait, and I'm going to show you. I actually trained it, and I'm going to show you the results from that one a little bit later. Bear with me just one moment. All right. Then next you want to load your data set. So you're just going to upload the zipped folder of the images. There is going to be a space there for you to add in your trigger word. And this is just a reminder that you want your trigger word to be the same as the photos in the folder. Again, this will allow the model to be able to find and use your photos for the output. If you are training the model on style, you will want to toggle the style parameter on. The default is for it to be in the off position. So you would just toggle it on and it'll turn purple. And that's for style only. And then you just train train the LoRa, you just select start. And the first, it only takes a few minutes to do it. The first time I did it, I made a mistake and it actually ran through four runs on the images. You don't want to do that. That's the max number. And it costs $2 per run, so it actually cost me $8 to train the model. And you run the risk of overtraining the model, which I did see some evidence of that, which I will show later. The default should be fine once you hit start. Right, once you have run it, then you want to run and test it. And you will select run inference, and I'll show you where that is on the page. And then you want to experiment with your prompts. Initially, I use, just some basic prompts just to see what it will do. Am I getting the face that I want? Am I getting the style that I want? So far, I've only trained them on either faces or styles. Check for consistency. Are you getting a pretty consistent output? It is AI. They won't be exactly the same, but you should get close enough or pretty close images that most won't be, able to tell. And then if not, you could always fine tune the model. So, and we can talk about and basically what fine tuning entails is you may have to add additional pictures. You may actually have to have it run through additional times, or, there's some adjustments that you can make to get a better output. So again, it is AI. Please manage your expectations. So I got some pretty funny outputs. Let's see. Trying to take the spotlight off. So when I said I overtrained the LoRa, I asked it to do me in the library, and I do have a sister. However, we don't look that much alike, so there are not quadruplets of us. My sister is not a twin. We got a twin. The proportions were off in this one. I think I was trying to do I don't remember the exact prompt, but it was probably like a cartoon version and a much slimmer body. And when I was talking about overtraining, this is an example. So I don't know who this person is, but he has my face. I have some other images where it's supposed to be me in the gym, and all of the people in the background have my face, no matter the race or ethnicity. So that was kind of weird. You can see that here, the baby has a face. I didn't even ask it for a baby. I didn't ask it for a guy. So now with this particular picture, the interesting thing about it is when I trained the LoRa, I trained it on a number of years. So the pictures I loaded probably spanned at least 20 some odd years. Across those 20 years, I've had different styles of hair, from curls to braids to natural to locks. And in this image, it looks like it, well, it gave me muscles for one thing. That's pretty cool. But it also mixed the hairstyle. So I wasn't specific in my prompting. I just told it to give it me as a superhero. So, and that's it for the presentation part, but I would, after we kind of go through questions, if there are any, go through the demo part. So, right, I'll pause for questions. Any questions or clarifications? Hello?
Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any
Oh,
questions
right.
so that we don't have to do with having to read the chat thing. So feel free.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't even see the chat.
I have a question.
Sure.
So if you have an established array of photographs, you can't ask it to add style and character together or not?
I'm actually going to get into that because that is something that I did today. So it's going to be slightly more advanced. All it is, you're going to have, so I trained a LoRa on uh, me, like my face, and then I trained one on a particular style. And then I put the file path of the one that I trained um, that looks like me into the style one, and then it generated a little girl that has my face, but it's in an illustrated style. And so I'll show you that shortly. So yes, it is possible to mix LoRa's together.
Okay, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for doing this today. I appreciate it. I'm
Oh,
excited.
absolutely. Absolutely. Let me find. Okay. Any other questions?
I have a couple of questions. Hi, Lakeisha.
Hi.
Thank you for having this workshop. Um, with the in the beginning, you said that you have to pay for 4 images. You're not paying for the images that you're uploading to train the LoRa. You're paying for the images that it generates.
Absolutely, yes. And so you have the option when you're generating the images, you can choose between 1 and 4 images output at a time. And so you're only paying for what you are paying for your output. So if you only want 1 image, you're going to pay, I don't know, the 3 or 4 or 5 cents or whatever it costs for that particular image. But I did notice, because I was generating 4 at a time because I wanted to see what it was giving me for each set of 4, it was costing me 14 cents per 4.
Okay. And this is another program separate from anything else, right? It's not
And
something you can run with something.
so it's the back end, and it's actually pretty cool. So you will actually find Flux LoRa's on other places like Hugging Face, I think like Korea and some of the other like front facing systems. But all they've done is ran the API from, I guess, a file into their system. So I guess they try to make it's going to look weird, and it's going to look kind of undone based on what we're used to seeing. Because like, say for instance, I'm just going to go to Hugging Face. We're used to the sites looking done. I don't have an account set up with them, but yeah, and so it's a back end. But yes, it is different than Midjourney or Dolly or any of the rest of them. I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a couple. I'm sorry. I got a
Sure.
couple more.
Sure.
You said 10 to 30 pictures,
Mhm.
some face up, some full body. Is it varying in ages, or should you stick to whatever? Like my daughter, if I was trying to train one on one of my kids, should I have pictures from when she was like 4 up to pictures of when she's like 20, or just stick to current?
Right. I think that's probably gonna depend on the output that you want to have, but I, for the most part, like for me, I pretty much look similar, besides my body changing across my face. For the most part stays the same, but my body changed throughout the years or whatnot. But and I wasn't really training it on a specific output. But if you were, I don't know, wanting to do an avatar of her in her 20s, I would probably stick to a smaller set of years versus pulling from pictures from when she was 4 to pictures of when she's 20, because this is going to be a difference.
Okay. And then you said pictures of them by themselves, pictures of the person by themselves. If you take pictures of them, group photos of them, and you remove the person from the photo and
Mhm.
just use it on a white background, is it going to interfere with the type of backgrounds that it's going to give you in the images? Like, is that training the LoRa as well?
No, if you are training it for the person, it's going to train it for um on the person. And so I don't think it takes the backgrounds into consideration. I hadn't noticed that it did. So your prompting will change, your prompting is going to change your background. So I think one of my experiments was when I trained it on an art style. I actually generated the art style in Midjourney and then used the variation. So I did some with a subtle variation, some with strong variation, and then trained it on that to see if it'll give me, a consistent output, and it did. So I would venture to say you should be able to remove the background, pull them out and train it on that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Lakeisha, I just wanted to check in. Are you sharing the screen where we're seeing the samples? Because it seems like it's a little off. I wasn't sure you were sharing.
It's on my end, it says your screen share is paused. So maybe it's something I need to do.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
it's me. I'm sorry. Oh, I see why I didn't select whole screen. I guess that's what the issue was. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Are you able to see it now?
Yes, I see
Okay.
FAL.ai.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this is I guess the platform that I'm gonna, I guess, kind of do the demo on, and the one that I was referring to earlier. So if I were getting started, of course I hit get started, but I'm just going to log in. And when I log in, it automatically, if I were setting this up for the first time, it'll still say continue with GitHub. And you would put your information in and set up the account. The account will be set. Oh, I guess it's automatically logging me in. Well, anyway, this is actually the back end. When you get in, yours won't look like this. This is me, experimenting with. Some of these are LoRa's I trained, and some of them are things that I was, just playing with. You would navigate to. Oh, let me show you this first. Once you set up your FAL/GitHub accounts, you want to fund the account, and you will be taken to a screen that looks like this. You would just choose an amount. You can either choose one of the pre ones, or you can do a custom one. So if you only wanted to start with $5, you could put that in, and then you put your information in, and it'll fund the account. Once you have some money in the account, you would navigate to the Explore page, navigate to the training page, and then there's only 3 options to choose from for this. This is the one that popped up today. That's new, and it's pretty amazing results. But this is the option that you would select. And I'm actually gonna walk through training one. So I already have a data set prepared. I'm just gonna pick a zip file. And nope. Open it. And then this is where you enter the trigger word, and my trigger word is going to be the same thing as what you see as part of the folder name. Style. And this is on the style, so I'm going to toggle it on. And then I'm not messing with any of the parameters, but I will show you this is the error that I made before, is that I turned these steps up and it ran it through 4,000 steps, which is 4 times, and it costs $8. And so for everything that you run, you'll see, it'll show you like how much it, a training run, you'll get I guess like a cost analysis. And when it comes to the images, it might say 0.0002 point, per pixel or per image, but it'll be clear before you do it. And then you just hit start, and it will take a few minutes to so while that's processing, so these are other models that I trained. This is I believe this is the first one. I haven't found yet that you can rename these, which would be helpful so that you know what they are. However, even though you can't see that, you can actually, I could go into my request and kind of look at the pictures, and it'll tell me which model it is. That's the way that I've been doing it, because so far I haven't found another way to do it. Or I haven't found a way to rename them yet. Let's see. While that's processing, so this is what I was talking about. So you can see each of your models. It's the first one, second one, third one, and then this is how much time it took to run the model. So you can see this one took a little over 2 minutes. Well, both of them took a little over 2 minutes to train. And this one I only use 4 pictures. This one I think it was 13. This one that's currently running, I'm training it on 13 pictures.
Lakeisha, I have a question for you. This is Wendy.
Sure. Hey, Wendy.
Hi. In the upper left there, right under where it says train Flux LoRa, I see that yours says training and then commercial use. What is their permissions on this platform?
You can use them commercially.
So you didn't pay anything extra or do anything special for that?
Nope, just whatever I paid the because you have to, put the funds in the system. And so once you, run your images, they're yours and you can use them however you want to use them. That's why it says commercial use.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Let's see. No, this one's taking a little bit longer than, so it's completed. So it completed. And once it completes, then you go to the run inference here. It's going to take you over. So now you move from the other screen to actually you're in the LoRa, and then it has brought the file path of the LoRa that you trained in. It automatically has your trigger word inside of the prompt area. You can add words before. Let's see. Apples. I don't know what we're gonna get, but we're about to see together. And let's see. I just used leave the default size. I mean, you can change the size of the images to whatever you want them to be. And so a couple things. I don't mess with these steps. I haven't found a need to just yet. Now I have adjusted this, I guess they call it a guidance scale. And then here it gives you like a little bit of information on that. And basically this is how closely do you want the LoRa to mimic, or what's the word I want to use? How closely do you want it to stick to your prompt, basically? I initially let it do it on a basic level on the first run or a few, and then I'll up it from there if I'm not liking what I'm getting. I like to generate in batches of 4 just so that I can see what I'm getting. And then here is where you can change the output format. I don't know what the default format is, but you have the option of JPEG and PNG. I usually choose PNG and then run it. And usually takes a few seconds. And so it stuck to the, so the style that I chose was a 3D low poly style, which is a gaming style that, you know, you would see in, I don't know, some of the game systems or whatnot. And yeah, I wasn't specific so the, you know, the girl could look any kind of way, but it looks like it, you know, pretty closely adhered to the style, at least in the trees. The grass, maybe not so much. See this one. This one is pretty good. Oh, I did a fairly good job. I don't know why the apples are up under the trees like that, but you know. And that one. All right, so.
Keisha, if you don't mind, could I ask a quick
Yeah,
question?
absolutely.
I'm just thinking like in regards to, I know you're focusing on showing illustrated images as well as photographs. I'm specifically thinking about like Michelle's book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if she's already created a character, in this case,
Mm-hmm.
Gracie, could
Yep.
that image be used as a reference image to make additional ones, or would that be, can you use an AI image like let's say was made in Midjourney and then bring it into this and then expand?
Yep. And
Oh,
I did that earlier. I will show that right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead. I
Oh
didn't.
no, you're fine. Yeah, I was gonna show some different things that I did in here because while I'm showing this, being in the back end of this, I guess like platform, is so many different things you can do. You can do image to video, speech to text, text to audio, just all kinds of stuff. So whereas, you know, a lot of the systems that we're paying for the user interface, is a big part of the, you know, the price or whatnot, and ease of use. So I mean, I guess it has its, and most people probably don't want to, they want it to be easy. But in answer to your question, let me get to my apps and figure out where I did it. It's in here. This. And I think this is the one where I did it on the style. Let's see. Yep. So this is exactly what you're talking about, is exactly what I did on this particular one. I created something in Midjourney. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I need it to run. Bear with me just a moment. Okay. So this is where you can see the request. And so I trained it on a style. And the style was that kind of watercolor background with the, you know, the soft blue, soft green. And it kept, I don't know why it kept putting the dogs in there, because it was supposed to be supposed to be children, so I don't know. Let's see. And so I changed the prompt, and is this the one? No. Well, I think I had to change the parameters over here because it was supposed to be children and it kept giving me dogs again. So I adjusted the prompt and asked it for a little girl. And I finally got one little girl, one little boy, a dog, and a boy. Now, this is I got a little bit more specific with the prompt and asked it for a red-headed little girl, but I didn't specify, age or anything like that. She was chasing butterflies. And if I'm going too fast, please let me know, or if I don't even know if you can see the images.
Yes, I see them.
Okay. And so this next example is me mixing two LoRas. So it's the same style, but I brought in the other LoRa so it resembles my face. So I use the realistic, the LoRa that I trained to look like me, that was realistic, but she's in the art style that I trained it on.
How specific can your prompts become?
Much more than what I did. You
Okay.
have to, yeah, much more. I was just, some people do whole paragraphs. Mine were just pretty simple, just to see if I could get, an output that was close.
And I'm guessing that you've used Chat GPT as well.
What do you mean?
No. Well, like the open AI.
Have I used it before?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Mhm.
Okay. So what I have done in the past was loaded a picture into the OpenAI Chat GPT-4
Mhm.
and asked it to give me in great detail a description of this image.
Mhm.
And then after that, then I've said, please create a prompt that will allow me to create this image again or similar. My question is, do you think those prompts, if you used those prompts and put it into this, what kind of a result you might get?
I think you should get pretty close results. Now, that's the one thing I didn't test it on, like having ChatGPT write a prompt and pull it in there, but I guess we could test that now.
I have a couple of questions while you're running the test that you probably don't have to show anything for. With this file AI, is it just like any other art generator, or do you have to train a model?
You don't have to train a model. No, some people, I mean, you could come on here, like if I was specifically trying to train a model. However, excuse me, I veer off for a second. I used it to create some videos. So I don't know, have you heard of Clean AI before?
No.
Okay, so Clean AI is a image to video platform. So front facing looks very different. However, you could come here and run an image and have it to, and so you're just versus you paying Clean AI on the front facing for whatever you're paying them for, you just pay here. So this is trying to find the image that I did. Okay, so that's the portrait image. I trained a LoRa on portraits. I was using the new portrait trainer that popped up today, created for images. I pulled one of the images into Clean AI, wrote a simple prompt in here, and then just ran it and it got the video. But it's capable of doing so much more. So it's not, it's almost like you're looking at the back end of like, can't use Midjourney or ChatGPT for
Leonardo.
but yeah, maybe like Leonardo or something like that. You're looking at the back end because those their some of their base models are on here. Stable Diffusion is on here. And some of some of the other like image generators. And I did record my voice. I was trying to make that video use another software that's here and have it match the audio with the video, but I kept getting error messages, so it wouldn't actually generate. I couldn't get it to generate. I was hoping to have that ready for today, but it wouldn't do. But you can see that they have all these different type of things that you could use and do. Stable Diffusion is here. There's in painting. There's just all kinds of stuff. And then whatever you don't see, you can, it will show you like everything that's there. Did I answer your question, Jeanette? I feel like I veered off a little bit.
You did, but I was about the different things that it can do, but I was just wondering about in general, does it just do text to image, or does it want you to use a specific style or model or something on it? Is it just how when you go on to Midjourney or DALL-E or anything else, you can just type in a prompt on a blank whatever and just give you something?
Yeah, you can do that too. You can just choose like say for instance, you want to do text to image. So these are all the options you have to pick for. Those are the ones that's featured, but you could choose one of those or any of these here. Choose one. I'll pick that one. I hadn't used it before. And then you can have it to, I don't know, they have it set to where I guess like test prompts are already in there. So we'll run it and it will generate a picture. But if you didn't want to use that, of course, you'll change it out. And well, this one looks like you can only generate one at a time. But anyway, yeah. So yes, you can generate images similar to like going into Midjourney or DALL-E, and you don't have to train models unless you want to.
Okay. Now, do you have to pay for those images, or is everything paid for, or is it only the ones that you train?
You are only paying for what you use. So if you just go in here, you're not paying anything. It's free to go in here. But once you generate the image, I didn't pay attention to how much that one costs, but I think it was a few cents to generate that image, but it'll tell you.
Okay. So you pay every time you press enter.
Kind of. Yeah, it shows you like either here or on the left-hand side, it'll show you like how much it costs you. Some of them will do per, like the Flux one seems to do per like megapixel, which is like a few cents each. And Stable Diffusion, I think, is a little cheaper. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So Michelle, let's see. I'll pull in the image. And what did you said? You said, please describe this image in great detail.
Yes.
And then,
So it gave you a description as well as an illustration style.
I didn't even read it. Oh, yes, it did.
Mhm.
And then you tell it to please write a, would you say detailed prompt?
Uh-huh. On recreating this particular image or something similar to that. Yeah.
And do you specify, well, you,
I mean, you could put it in any way you want to add to it or take it away. But I mean, I just was wondering if a prompt in Chat GPT would lead you to the file AI to get something pretty similar.
mhm,
Because some platforms, if you use the same, I mean, even within Chat GPT, the OpenAI, even using the exact same detailed prompt gives you different images,
mhm.
completely different images.
You can also ask it for the Gen ID, and
Right.
then it will use that as a seed.
Right. Yeah, you can use the seed and the Gen ID both.
On, I don't,
When I was running them, I would ask it for a detailed prompt and then ask it to actually produce an image so I could see what that prompt was looking like prior to that.
okay. So I haven't, I don't know exactly how.
I wanna th-
I
I'm
have
sorry,
to,
but I want to throw an idea out there. I don't know if this can work or not. Do you have Michelle, one of the actual prompts from GPT that you could maybe paste into chat and then make it, Lakeisha, can you post that into Flux and see if that'll,
sure.
Michelle, do you have that available? One of those prompts available?
Well, the only thing about it is, I would first need to train the,
Oh,
have the model trained, I guess. And then what we're trying to do is recreate it. So my thought process, Michelle, when I suggested this was that you train the model, you train one model on the style, then you train the model on Gracie herself, and then you could use the two models in conjunction and then use a prompting to get the different images that you want, but the two LoRas will be working together to hopefully get the output that you want, like Gracie running after a ball or Gracie napping or whatever it is, if that makes sense. So it'll be a little bit different than Dolly, and that hopefully you won't have to keep using, like trying to get it to do seed phrases and Gen IDs and such.
Sure, that makes sense. I
Mhm.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Absolutely. Let's see. I forgot what I was about to do. I did want to show you all that this I thought was pretty fascinating. So I trained one on images. I mean, it's a portrait trainer, so it's a little bit different than what we did earlier. Different, but similar. And let's see. No. So I use the same images that I used to train the other model on my face, but that's the first image it gave me, and I just used a simple prompt when he's sitting at a luxury, sitting at an upscale office desk, and then same prompt, just more images, and the results of this. So that would be pretty cool. Like if you didn't want to take new pictures, but you needed some new, you needed some new pictures. Because I'm probably going to do something similar.
I think this is really cool.
Creating avatars. I'm sorry, what was that?
So I think this is really cool as far as what you just said, getting a
Yeah.
brand new shoot without actually having to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The pen was huge in this one, but I like the image. And so what I was I think I showed y'all that video already. So I used that one and did that video, but I was hoping to be able to put the audio with it so it looked like I was talking to the guy that was in the video, but I couldn't get it to generate. Now, even though the images are pretty good, but you know, it still has some, like, it didn't get the fingers right here. And I think on this one, it messed up, but the other ones, it did pretty good. And what else? Let's see. So it's not, it hasn't been super costly to do this. Like I have spent about a little over $20, about $23 this month. Now, the first LoRa I trained cost $8, so that was a big chunk of it. I've trained some others since then, so I think I've trained 4 in total, and then the rest has just me the videos. So some of the videos cost more, like I think like when you do Luma Dream Machine, I think it's like 50 cents for the video. And then some of the other ones, not as much. It might be like Hyper 2.0 costs 16 cents to make that video. And they're taking anywhere from, well, Luma only takes like a few seconds to generate a video. Let's see if I can get it to.
So Lakeisha, in like the images that you just showed us, the 4 images at the desk, if there was one in particular that you really liked that had some issues with it, could you add that to your folder of images and rework that, or does it have that capacity to do that for you?
I have not tried that yet. But that would be, you know, that probably a good one to try. That, and the other thing I wanted to try was trying to take it, well, I did try it on a smaller scale. I tried to pull one of the illustrated images into Midjourney and have it do variations of it, but it didn't stick to the face. So, you know, it's similar. Now, the one thing I noticed that it did pick up, Flux, I did ask it for the dress on Flux was supposed to have flowers in it, but it didn't. But I noticed that when inside of Midjourney, I don't know if it's something in the metadata or exactly what, but it did put a pattern into the dress. So Midjourney didn't give me the results I was hoping for, but I have not tried recreating it inside of Flux. So you could probably think through that. Probably take it and recreate the picture. Like if I would have to figure out how to do it, like maybe recreate it from different angles and whatnot, and then just pull it in. You can train a LoRa on just one image. Oh, but I don't know, you know, your results probably won't be, they'll be consistent in that you're probably going to end up with the same outfit and probably the same hair. And I say that because I wanted to show, before I go into that, I'm going to show this one. So this is the girl from the main image from, hold to show it. Oh no. Wait on. Okay. I did save her. Bear with me. Oh, hopefully it's opening.
Do you have to run it again? Or does that make it, is run the same as like redoing something from Midjourney that you've gotten already? When it's
No, run means you're running another instance of it. So it would try to do it again.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry. Well, I guess I could run it again.
Yeah, I was just curious to see because I noticed the player button, but I didn't know if you tried to hit
But
that.
I already,
Oh, but you,
I
okay.
do already have it downloaded on here somewhere. I felt like I was trying to show something else earlier.
Let me also ask this question. So let's say you already have, again, like in Michelle's case, she's already got, illustrated images for the book, but she wanted to do it more in an animated style where maybe Gracie had a voice or what have you. Could you do that in this software?
It appears that it is, and that's what that was the experiment I was trying to do earlier that I was hoping to have ready, but it failed twice, and I'm not sure if it was something I did or if it was something, well, it said internal server error, excuse me. So I would take this image, download it. Okay, it's downloaded. And over here, there are I think that was image to video, and the name of it was, what was the name of it? Muse Talk, I think. Trying to remember what I clicked on. Fix the audio. Nope. You know what? Sorry about that. I forgot I used it earlier, so it's here. Use Talk. So I just pulled it in and I'm gonna attempt to record something. We're gonna see how this goes. Let's see. Hello and welcome to Consistent Characters Unlocked. You only get 8 seconds when you do it that way. You can upload your own audio. I don't know if you get a longer amount of time if you do it that way or not. All right, sorry about that. All right, so I don't know how long it's going to take to run, but it's running. And what I was hoping would happen was that you'll get the video with the audio, and it's supposed to actually sync the mouth movement to the audio if it works properly.
For that video you made the other day, did you use a different voice software? I couldn't
I
remember.
did. I used the video I did the other day, the one where the image was animated.
Mhm.
Yes, I used oh goodness, what was the name of it? 11 Labs. And I cloned my voice. So it's my voice along with AI, and then pulled them together inside of Hydra to create that video.
Mhm.
Now, what I'm hoping is to be able to do that same workflow or similar, but inside of file, inside of this or this on this platform. I don't know how long this is going to take, or even if it's going to work. So bear with me. I know
You record your voice to upload to it. How long can it be? Or not?
for which platform? For
For this
file?
platform here that we're looking at now, because I know you
Yes.
said you can upload a video too.
Yes. So you can record up to 8. You only get 8 seconds when you record it here.
Mhm.
Now I'm not sure if because you can upload your own. I don't know if you're limited to, in that or not, or if it cuts it to 8 seconds, or exactly what happens. Because
Yeah.
I just, kind of stumbled on this
Mhm.
earlier today and thought it'd be something kind of neat if it worked.
Yeah. It's always funny. These things always show up when you're trying to
Right.
you weren't on camera.
That'll
They're probably happening in 10 seconds, but you know how it goes.
that'll be cool. It did. I did notice earlier when I was trying to experiment with it, it was taking a long time to run through. So I think that it just takes a long time. But what I don't know, I wasn't successful the 2 times that I tried it earlier, if it's going to be successful or not.
While you're waiting for that, I have another question. So looking at side by side for those of us, I don't know really any other tool as far as image creation goes other than Midjourney. But what would you say are the biggest advantages to, or is there advantages and or for a particular outcome we want, which would be better for us? This one or Midjourney, or as a combination of the two? Are they, what just in your experience with both of them?
Right. So first of all, Midjourney is still my number one. That's just it. However, what I really like about this one is that because it's not one platform, well, let me take that back. It's one platform, but it's a lot of tools. So it didn't work and I don't know so it's something going on in here. And so you get to explore and try a bunch of different tools in here and different types. So, like Clean AI, I'm going to show you Clean because there was a video I did. I think it was the one that I showed last week with the girl in the red dress with the flames behind her, and it looked like the walls were crumbling down. I actually did this using Clean AI, but not their paid plan. I was testing out the free plan because I had never used it before. It took forever to generate this image. I don't even know how long, because I ended up walking off, forgot about it, and then came back and I was like, oh yeah, I was generating an image. But the results, were pretty good. But that was me doing it from here. Clean AI is here. Um, let's see, image to video right here. And they have more than one model. So it's Clean version 1, the version 1 Pro, and then the version 1.5 Pro. So I could just come in here and say, hey, I want to generate the image and generate it, which I didn't do that one, but that was the one with where it looked like I was, you know, sitting at a desk or whatnot. I did that using, wait, did I do it using Clean? Let me see.
And as far as pricing goes, you're basically put in it's like a set amount, and it just deducts.
Mhm. Yep, it deducts each time you use it. So, and you know, I like that it tells you, so you pay 3 seconds per second of video. So if you're running a 5-second video, you're gonna pay 15 cents for that video. And then also, you know, for that $1, you can run the model approximately 33 times. So the other thing I thought about is that, so the pluses is that potentially efficiency, you know, once you get over kind of like the learning curve and maybe get over it not looking as maybe pretty as some of the other, you know, front facing systems, and the learning curve is just using the platform. You know, you could be saving time, potentially saving money if you know, if I, so a lot of the front facing ones, like maybe like, I don't know about Hugging Face, but I guess maybe Leonardo, just because Janice said it earlier. I'm assuming that you probably pay a subscription. Is that correct?
If
For
Leonardo,
Leonardo, yes, you have to pay for it, but now it is what fuels the Canva AI.
Okay. So
didn't know that.
I don't, I've only done a little bit on Leonardo, and this was like early on when I was trying to figure out which platforms I liked and which ones I thought were going to be around, you know, kind of longer term or whatnot. But if I was using Stable Diffusion on Leonardo, I would just come in foul and go into the back end and just use Stable Diffusion here. Typically it generate, well, I can't compare it because I don't know, but with the exception of Clean AI, I did notice that, and I've also read that because the model, you're working with the base of the model versus it having to, I guess, like travel so many different places inside into the front end of the whatever, you're going to get a quicker output. Because this took, I don't even know how long it took to run it. And over here, when I ran it, it took, trying to find it, it was like a couple of minutes, I believe.
While you're looking for that, I'd be well, I don't know if it needs to be a concern about with Canva. I know that's not the focus of the conversation per se, but I'm just curious, with Canva acquiring, you said Leonardo, are there going to be restrictions on the usage of the art that it generates from a commercial perspective?
Now that's a good question. I don't know, because I don't know that I knew that Leonardo was powering the Dreamish. What do they call
I haven't
it?
heard anything about them changing it's going to be the same thing that it was before. You know, when you're generating the images, they want you to like build stuff on top of it, not just use it raw. So I imagine that part of it's probably going to stay the same. I haven't seen anything about them changing their terms of service.
Okay. But what you're
To
saying,
run the this, to make this video, that took Clean from I guess Clean AI from this front facing. Golly, I wish I could. I know it was more than 30 more than 30 minutes if it wasn't longer to run that video. And over here to run it, it took about three minutes or so. Well, not the same exact video, but you know,
Mhm.
you can even say 4 minutes. That's still a big difference in time. And then once my free credits run out, I don't think they renew. So once I, those, well, maybe I do get some. Maybe you get some free every day, but then you're like placed in a queue, so you don't get to. You're not first in line. So, and you'll know that when you generate, it'll say, hey, if you want to get further up in the line, please upgrade today, kind of thing. I do like being able to, come in here and play around and experiment and use some of the platforms that I haven't, and some of them, yeah. And then it being, I think it's pretty cost effective. I mean, but
I know you and Rodney had both used a image to video voiceover. He had used one, then you had used a different one. I think yours was a little bit smoother. How have you found this to be in comparison to those?
So I hadn't got the voice thing to work just yet. That's what I was trialing out earlier to see if I'll be able to, because right now I'm on like not the free plan, but like 11 Labs has I guess they're running a Black Friday special. So I signed up for that the first month. I think it's like the creative plan for like $1 for 30 minutes. And I mainly signed up because none of the voices were something that was going to fit with my face. And I needed to, be able to either clone my voice or pay to see if I could find a voice that was more similar. And so that's something I'll be playing with over the next like week or so to see if I can replicate that workflow inside of the back end of here. Because and hopefully, so I should be able to. So I don't know just yet the answer to your question.
So let me ask this question of just everyone, just to take the temperature in the room. I don't want to keep you all day, but I was curious, where are you all in the use of this tool, or just under having, like, is it make you more curious? Are you what questions do you have for Lakeisha and just in general about the tool and the individual usages for yourselves individually, like for your projects that you currently have going on? Would you use it more to make videos, to promote your printed products? Would you use it more to actually create the characters for the products themselves? Just to kind of get an idea.
I have a story that I wrote for my grandkids for Christmas, in which they are the main characters, and I have had a dickens of a time no pun intended, getting them to the characters to generate in any sort of replicatable format, and I've been using DALL-E for that, and then I tried Midjourney, and I've tried a couple of different things, and I just haven't found it to be very productive. So while it's too late to use for that, now I'm curious about it. So I could definitely see it for things in the future. Specifically for me, looking at coloring book things, I was thinking about doing like a coloring book story, or maybe that'd be story coloring book. Anyways, but being able to do those, replicate the character is important. And so I was very curious to see Lakeisha work her magic, because I know she's so excellent at everything she does.
Thank you. If you see me behind the scenes, Lord, but anyway.
You know what? Duck on water, baby.
Paddle.
I just like to do a lot of experimenting.
Yeah.
But Wendy, with that I'm glad you said that, because that's another experiment I'm going to do. I want to train one on a lot of people have a lot of trouble generating certain types of coloring book pages. And so I had the idea the other day to try to train it like more like if I was generating a coloring book, a simplistic one, like for maybe like toddlers, then training one, for more detailed one in that, just to see if it would, what the results would be. I don't know, but I'm just curious.
Well,
But
with
yeah.
the different, like you've got the featured models there, with the models that they have you seen if they have one? Because sometimes you'll find that they have a coloring book model. Do they have one that you've seen?
No, well, I hadn't found one yet. If they do, because let's see, how do I had no, not yet. And
Okay.
maybe it's here. But if not, I'm gonna train that I'm gonna train it on that particular style and see if I get it, or if I can get it to work. But what you're talking about is something very similar to what I was going to do. So I had the idea of recreating like some children's storybooks, and I started working on one, and I plan to train the lore on the character, then also on the art style, and then fuse them together for the story. So we'll see what happens.
Mm. Anna says character creations for storybooks. So that seems to be, and of course we know that's what Michelle has. So that seems to be the, you want to add anything, Anna?
Yes, yeah. Lakeisha, like I have like 5 storybooks in Canva and I was rolling, doing the characters. I would get like 4 consistent characters. I've done all the classes. So maybe this program is better at getting those consistent characters for my storybooks. So I wanted to like see if you were like on for hire. I don't have the time to play with
Right, right.
yeah.
Exactly. That, and that's yes, I am for hire. And also that is the problem that I'm hoping that this will solve for people. I keep seeing it across different groups. I see the questions asked inside of different AI groups, different other group types that
Done
I'm
the seed ID, the gen ID, I did all of
right.
it, so I give
So
up.
right. So the secret, if you're using ChatGPT / Dolly, ChatGPT, when they initially rolled out, there, as far as I know, or from my understanding, there was no intention to have it generate images. The images became a thing when Midjourney came along. When Midjourney came along, and they were getting such great, and had such great buzz and feedback, and I guess the results people were getting with images, Dolly then became a thing. Well, Dolly, this is just strictly my opinion, I think it does pretty great images. When it comes to people, I don't like them as much, because but I think it also depends on the style that you're doing. For the type of images that I tend to like to create, a lot of times the people look like plasticky, and I don't like that look, which is I just but so now I don't know if it was earlier last year or later last year, I kept trying to do consistent characters. And then it wasn't working. It wasn't working. And I'm like, okay, the Gen ID, Seed ID thing just didn't work. So then I thought Midjourney was going to be the answer. Midjourney also doesn't do a good,
Right.
good
You'll
job.
get a few. I think I got 5 one time and I thought, oh, it's excited. And then
Right.
it changes. It's a baby all of a sudden.
Right. It'll give you similar, but
Right.
then but then you'll notice, like, you know, something will change. Like if there was a mask on it, the mask may be lifted, or you know, something changes across the image. But I think that's what the majority of the AI models, they're built to have randomness in them. But if you're trying, and even the CREF in Midjourney is not close enough. If you're, I guess it depends on what you're trying to do. But for a children's book, you know, you typically want to stick as close to the, you know, the characters as possible, you know, from start to finish. And so it's frustrating. I did watch somebody do this workflow the other day, and it's so convoluted. I was like, absolutely not. And so I was like, so at this point in time, my answer is doing the Flux LoRA training, and then, you know, training it for style, training it for the character, and then, you know, running them together to get
I
the
have some Leonardo and Playground and Midjourney characters that I
Mhm.
started with my storybooks, but you know, it just ended after four rolls of the characters. So
uh,
try it, but I'll probably be calling you.
right. Absolutely. No problem. And Midjourney, what was I gonna say? Did I don't know why my screen switched. Maybe I hit something, but anyway, um, they have the character reference, but it's just a reference. It is not.
Right, it didn't work.
Yeah, and I wish that
Me.
they were supposed to be working, but I guess it keeps getting pushed further and further down the list,
Yeah.
because it's something that people really struggle with. Yep, that's exactly right, Michelle. Yep,
Nice.
you still got to edit them. Yep.
So, to follow up on what's the conversation that started today, what would you all be interested in? Would you want to do something more in depth with Lakeisha, like one-on-one, or more in depth of a training on this? I'm just trying to take the temperature of the room and see where you all are, shoulder wanting and needing to move forward.
I've been there's been a couple different things going on in areas that I've been struggling in. And today I saw a prompt that had you talk to Chat GPT and basically ask it what's your best advice for me. And it started off, all right, Jeanette, buckle up. That's literally how it started. And I think number 4 was don't buy another training, don't buy another course. Use all of the knowledge that you have. So for me personally, only because I let it, Chat GPT put me on punishment.
Punishment, let's say timeout.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was when I was growing up. I was always on a punishment. I wasn't grounded. I wasn't in the timeout. I was on punishment. You can't do this. You're on a punishment. So to me, that's what it is. I mean, maybe my wording is harsher, but that's why I use punishment, because it's just like a timeout or grounding. But yeah. I understand punishment because that's what I spent my life on, my childhood on.
Cool. Michelle said she'd like to continue the conversation. You know, I know, honestly. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sounds to me like, I mean, I would love to pick this back up again and just, you know, actually see, you know, some things maybe. Well, you started it today with the illustrated characters, because it seems like that most everyone here has an interest in creating some type of a illustrated story, storybook character. I know the coloring page thing is something I'm personally curious about myself. So yeah, Lakeisha and I will talk and figure out the next move, and maybe put another, and if you're, you know, open to that, Lakeisha, maybe doing another follow-up to this.
Right.
Because
So
this,
initially, So this kind of turned into a demo because my initial idea was to ask you all to come, like, but because it went from like, we only had, what was it, like a few days pulling this together, it wouldn't have given you enough time to come with like your images and all of that potentially. So we decided to do a demo today, and then, you know,
Mhm.
and then further, you know, turn it into a deeper session, I guess. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we talked about just kind of doing a demo today and then seeing, you know, where all of
right,
you were and then approaching it from where you actually would actually have all of this set up already on your computers and bringing your images. And so you would get like an kind of an outline of what you need to bring. And then, you know, we figure out a date to do that. So if that's of interest to, you know, any of you, you know, let me know or let Lakeisha. Well, actually, what I prefer to do is, yeah, just let post it in the group. I'll do a post in the group or whatever, and then we'll figure out a date because I definitely, for sure, feel that this is something that many of you have an interest in, and even if it's not even just from creating a book, what I know many of you want to do, but also to do the book trailers, the animated, you know, using the characters, which is a great marketing tool to have. Um, so I'd love to see that too. So that's just me personally. I don't have a plan to do an illustrated type book myself, but oh, we had Cantona and Marcia just joined. So I'm surprised Marcia's here. It's so late in the UK. But anyway, but anyway, so thank you all for coming. We were just talking about Lakeisha's done a demonstration for us today on the tool. And we were talking about, I'm going to put the recording to this in the portal. And then we were talking about next steps, maybe like a longer workshop or what have you. So anyway, before we wrap, because I don't want to, you know, hold you all here, you know, unless there's something else, Lakeisha, that you wanted to show us.
I was looking for, because when you said that about the illustrated image, I was trying to find it. So I tried the illustrated image using one of the models just to see if it would do. She's actually, she's supposed to be chasing the butterflies, but it kind of, you know, distorted the face and whatnot. So I still have to play around with that to try to figure out how to get it to, and then this might not be the answer, or at least what I'm using, you know, the answer for that, but I still like the idea of, I was like, oh, taking it and animating one of the, you know, one of the pages or whatnot would be, you know, pretty cool. It's like the story coming to life,
I'd love to see that
which
too.
would be pretty cool for, you know, kids doing, you know, TikTok stories, bedtime stories on YouTube, that kind of thing. So
Well, I know that's something that Michelle is interested in doing. That is like a bit. That's what I'm thinking. It could be for the characters, for the book itself, or the book project, and obviously we need marketing assets. So to be able to create something like this, where, you know, like I said, in Michelle's case, because I know the book's character name, Gracie, could be talking, and then what that voice sound like, and all of that. I think that'd be fun
right,
to
I
walk through
agree.
that process, you know, and actually see it. And we'll have to figure out, it's going to be longer than an hour or hour and a half. So just, you know, putting that out there, it may have to be a multi-session experience. We'll figure that out. But I wanted to ask really quick because I just want to check in with Cantona and Marcia. I know you all just popped in. We're getting ready to wrap pretty soon. But did you have any questions? And maybe you don't because you haven't seen the whole presentation or the demonstration. But did you have any questions about your AI generated consistent character or animated video type thing for your particular project? So do you have any questions for Lakeisha or about the topic in general?
Hey, oh, go ahead.
Cantona, go ahead.
Um, I love what I've just seen. I definitely I'm interested in the animated characters because I would love for my book to be able to come to life.
Hmm.
And I just created another coloring book for my church. So it's Be a Blessing, Not a Bully, but it's for the church. It's called Chosen, and it's going to be for their school that they're about to open.
Mm.
So I would love to be able to create an animated story to reach out to the kids.
Great, great, great. We'll stay tuned. Lakeisha, do you have any comments or feedback for Kentona?
No, that's I'm working on animation in the background, trying, yeah. So but that's awesome. And I like that. And I've liked what I've been able to do with animation, but it's been on a smaller scale. But I want to get to the point to where I'm, making a complete story. But
Right, like the little girl. I love that.
oh yeah, yeah. And I feel like I did another one, but I was experimenting so much that I forgot what I was on, and I might have been trying it in different generators. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I did do today. Let's see.
I have a question.
Sure.
Well, I know Rodney asked a question, and it's how would we use it? And a lot of people want to use it for consistent characters. I was thinking while you were teaching the class, and when Rodney asked that question about using it to create marketing materials for me and my son, but different from a character, it would be more of us. His planner is like a DIY kind of thing you do. He can do it by himself, but we're doing it together. So I create images of us together in different places, which leads to my leads to my question, which is I know I saw you use two models, a style and a person. Can you use two
people.
models together that are people, like in a prompt, a mother,
Yes.
like in a library, and it'll not make everybody in the library those two people?
Right. So you should be able to do so if it would be trained on you, it'd be trained on your son, and you should be able to use both of them, both of the people. And then you prompt it for where you want to be. If you are always in the library, then you could also, prompt it on the style or the place, because they are supposed to be able to train on concept as well. I was trying to find, so when you go into the let me see, I'm just trying to remember the flow. um mm, mm, mm. Here is, okay, so this is the one where I used um two LoRa's. I was hoping it was going to show them. Let me see. Okay, so it does. So this is one of the LoRa's. I was hoping it would show the name, but it doesn't. Well, I guess it does, but in that string of characters. So that's the the style, like that watercolor blue and green kind of style. This is the second LoRa. This is the one where the LoRa that's trained on my face. And then I could add another one here. So I would just let's see. I'm gonna duplicate this. Oh no, not what I meant to do. Okay, so duplicate that. So I have a second instance, and then go to my apps, and then go to my LoRa's. And then do I have another oh, I didn't show the ones of, since Marsha's here. She doesn't know that I did this. I'm going to take the path. Bear with me. Okay, so this is the path to the one that's trained on Marsha, and I'm gonna add it in here, and we're going to see. A country. I think I need the I need to grab the trigger words, I believe. Let's see. I don't know if this is gonna work, but this is me put it. So I know that it should work. You can put multiple LoRa's together. What I mean is that I'm not sure that my prompting is correct to get what I'm trying to do out. So we're gonna see, and we can adjust the prompt as we need to. Input values. Yep. Two girls walking down there. Let's do it like this. Oh, it's something with the LoRa that might be the issue. You can, oh, okay. You can only use 2 at a time. If so, Jeanette, for what you're trying to do, does it need to stay in a certain style?
No, I guess it would just be us. You're talking about art style. It would just be he and I in, you know,
Different scenarios.
yeah, maybe it's he and I picking up. So one of the videos is of us going to Walmart, and not Walmart, but Dollar Tree, but anywhere, it could be anywhere. Picking out things to use in his planner. Maybe one is a realistic picture of us in the library using the stuff, but maybe another one is a anime kind of picture of us going in the Dollar Tree picking out stuff. But you clearly know it's both of us.
Right, right. Let's see. Did it give us different faces, or did it mix our faces together? I think it mixed our faces together.
Is it finished?
Let's see.
When you had it big, it looked like it was maybe still. You see how it doesn't look like it's done?
Right. I wonder if it's the.
Oh, it says completed.
It does say completed, but it I don't know why it's. Oh shoot. So I think it blended our faces together. I wish it would.
Oh God, twin. It's mad.
Oh, Marsha, I have some other ones for you. Let me see, because the images that you gave me a while back, I used them. I was experimenting to see if it would train, if I could get it to train with less images than 10, and it did. And so let's see. My apps. This and run.
My, I got hair too. What? I love this thing. Keisha, you're making me look hot.
That's great. Wow.
Now, the one thing I did notice is I think it was picking up the pattern in I know one dress in particular, if it was at 2, and so even though I was prompting it for, I did one where I asked it for you in a like a purple and gold cocktail dress, and it did give me purple and gold, but it still wanted to do that particular
Fabric.
yeah, the pattern, and so it's probably just a matter of, I mean, some of it may be that I need to adjust the prompting, and some may be that I just need, you know, a different, some more variety in the pictures.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got you, but it did do some of you in jeans. Well, but I specifically asked, you know, for blue jeans and a pink shirt, I think. And where is it at? But it's funny because even in at least one of the shirts, it tried to pick up the same pattern in the shirt.
It's like in that.
You're right. I don't know who the guy is, but
That was cute.
And then this one, they try to give you, I guess, like a handbag, but in that pattern.
In the pattern.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So could you make that kind of image speak, like how your one was speaking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would just download the image and then you know, just pull. I would have to put it with another software to get it to do it, but yes.
Oh, cool. Amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely. I am trying to figure out how to get this to you, because I was just going to give you the LoRa, and there is a way for me to do it. I just got to figure out how to do it.
Wonderful.
And then that way, when you need or want more images of yourself, you can do it. And you can ask it for different styles. I did play with it a little bit, trying to like do myself in animation, and it worked. I think a big part of the problem was me being too simplistic in my prompt. So, but yep.
Oh, I just had an idea. If you could do one for Marcia in a like in a Christmas thing with like a Christmas tree for promoting her event that's coming up, would be great. Don't do it right now, but I'm just saying if you wanted to.
Oh, I was getting ready to say we can.
If you want to do it now, it's up to you. I don't know where everyone else is at. I know, but anyway, I wanted to think that may be kind of fun.
What is she doing? Standing Stand. Oh, well, anyway, I meant to just select PNG. My assumption is that the default is either PNG or JPEG. I don't know which one, but it'll be fine. Oh, you got braids, Marcia.
I've always wanted braids.
Let's see. But, you know, of course, we could keep, you know, working on it.
Yeah, it's just loving that dress. But I like that dress still, that style.
Right. Yeah.
That's really cool though. I mean, you know, seriously, for you know, for those of us, like I said, who don't really, I mean, in the past you had to go, you know, hire a photographer or nothing wrong with that. Of course, you know, I did that for a living for many years. Either hire a photographer and or go to like a hire a photographer or go to a what you call it? Hire a photographer, or what was I going to say? Or get someone that, you know, that could take a selfie of you that, you know, could get you with good lighting. You know, you had to set all that stuff up. And, you know, and that's the number one thing people really didn't want to do. So what I love about this is that you can get realistic looking images. And just, you know, because when you get an idea, you have to kind of move on it. You don't have time to try to, you know, coordinate a shoot and all that stuff.
Mhm.
You know, and so I think this is really great that, you know, we can put something together really quick. That's cool. I like the one on the bottom right. That looks more like Marcia. Um, that looks exactly like Marcia. Wow. That's,
Yeah, that's quite good.
yeah, that was good.
I just wanted to take off a few pounds. How
Let's-
about that?
Yeah. Yep. I was wondering why they were kind of making her. I mean, you know, I've never seen you in
Well-
person, Marcia, but I was like, why is it making her so fuller?
It's so Marsha's images are they the ones that you sent me, are they closer together in years? Like say for instance, mine, I get a mixture of sizes mainly because it's, you know, the pictures span like about 20 years. And so some I'm, you know, smaller, some I'm, you know,
Yeah.
some are medium size, some I have muscles and some I don't. So I don't know if let's see. I mean, you could probably ask it for a specific
I think the one in the lowest corner is like what I am now. But yeah, it's probably like all of my pictures have gone up and down and in terms of weight, so it's probably why.
yeah.
But yeah, that one's the closest.
We can now I only used 4 pictures to train it, so that's what I was saying earlier, was that you know, when you have 4 and then they're closer together, it's pulling from what it sees. So to combat, you know, to try to, I guess, you know, combat that, then you could try it with prompting, or I would just, you know, use more pictures and, you know, fine tune the model so it has more of a range to pull from. That's why it keeps wanting to put, you know, the same style of, you know, that
Dress.
pattern and dress together.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's cool. Thank you.
Oh,
No, I get it. You had said that's why you wanted to give it so many pictures of different to begin with. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it.
Alrighty, everyone. Okay. I'm gonna actually need to go. I've got another meeting, but I wanted to just say thank you all for dropping in. If you have one quick last question for Lakeisha, go ahead. If not, then I can go for another 5 minutes, and then I've got to wrap because I've got another meeting. But any last questions for Lakeisha before we wrap today?
Right. Doesn't sound like it, but I want to thank you all for allowing me to come and do this demo. Hopefully it wasn't all over the place and that you're, able to get some information out that you can use. And if not, my inbox, email, all of that is always open. Feel free to ask and I'll be glad to assist any way that I can.
Yeah. And stay tuned because, like I said, we will have Lakeisha and I will have a conversation, and we'll figure out the next workshop type experience, and make sure that you all are prepped for it. And we'll let you know as soon as we figure that out. But I really want to thank you all for taking the time. Seriously, I wanted to help Lakeisha get out there with this, technology. She has showed it to me, and I was saying the other day, I can't be all the things. I don't want to know how to do all the things. So it's like you all have expertise that I don't have in different areas that I don't have. And so it's really exciting to me to, showcase you all and what you all have going on and what you're doing. So it helps the collective. So anyway, thank you all again for taking the time to show up and be with us today. Thank you, Lakeisha, so much for your generosity and just, giving us a nice overview of what this could look like. I'm excited about it. I was scared of Midjourney for the first year I had it. And now I can't imagine my life without it. So
I'm over here burning through fast hours. I finished and I upgraded a couple months ago and burned through those 15 hours last month. I was like, Lord have mercy. I was like, I don't want to upgrade again.
oh, well, that's cool. What I'll do too, I'll upload the replay into the portal, and then any links to any of these, like to this software and everything, I'll ask Lakeisha to give me those links, and I'll put those in the attachment, so you'll be able to click over there. And if there's anything else you need that will help you to get ready for the next phase of this, I'll post a link in the group. Comment about it in the chat, and then I can also add those resources to the attachments and or bring it into the next experience. All righty.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rodney.
You're welcome. My
appreciate it.
pleasure. My pleasure. Learned a lot today. I'm excited. I'm excited that you all are excited for the possibilities here. So yay. Cool. All
Oh,
right.
definitely excited. Thank you guys. Bye, Lakeisha. Bye, Rodney. Bye, everyone.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of your day. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Happy
happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.